Independence Day, Prime Minister Modi unveiled not just a policy but a shield. Mission Sudarshan Chakra, an indigenous air defense system inspired by Lord Krishna's faultless weapon, a symbol of Sanatan strength, is now reborn as New India's uncompromising defense strategy, built to protect India's most critical cities, sites, and strike down threats from any direction. That's the purpose. This is our own Suraksha Kavach, a system experts say could rival Israel's Iron Dome, but forged entirely in India with an Indian signature, an unmistakable one. Viewers, at a time when the ecosystem does not think twice before questioning Operation Sindoor, does not stop before targeting our forces, and plays petty politics over national security, Prime Minister Modi has sent an unmistakable message. India will secure every site, every symbol, every faith, every inch with all its might. Sudarshan Chakra is the permanent extension of the Sindoor doctrine. From a sword that strikes to a shield that cannot be pierced, rooted in Sanatan, it reaffirms the defense of the righteous is sacred duty, and the weapons of Dharma must be wielded without fear. Viewers, India is telling the world, we will defend, we will deter, and we will defeat. Mission Sudarshan Chakra is not just any other project. It is a promise that Bharat will remain unbroken, unshaken, and undefeated. Let's open this up. Sushant Sareen, Major General G.D. Bakshi, RSN Singh, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, and Srinjoy Chaudhary here in the studio. Sushant Sareen, there's so much curiosity about Mission Sudarshan Chakra.
Pranesh, I want to wish everybody, all your viewers and all my fellow panelists, a very, very happy Independence Day. I thought it was a great speech by the Prime Minister. I'll just add one word to the 3 Ds that you mentioned: defend, deter, defeat, destroy the enemy as well. I think that is just as important. Look, we don't know what are going to be the details of this Sudarshan Chakra plan which we have. It's a kind of an Indian model of, if you will, Star Wars, right? It is an air defense system, and what it means is that we are now not narrowly focused on just the kind of border belt which has been our traditional focus. But now we are saying that, look, India is not just growing in 1 or 2 places. India is growing in multiple places. These are very, very important centers. We have very important infrastructure, and we need to have a kind of a Suraksha Kavach or a protective shield around the maximum areas possible. And I think that is the direction in which we are moving. I think it is also a response to the kind of threats that have come from across the borders. But let me assure you of one thing. If the Pakistanis think that they can up the ante and, browbeat us, they have another thing coming. This time, I think matters were pretty restrained from the Indian side. I'm not quite sure if next time it's going to be the same. So I would imagine that, there are plenty of very juicy targets. Incidentally, I have been reported for hate speech on Twitter just because I said that if you destroy one Indian dam, we'll destroy 2 of yours. And all these Pakistanis who try and act so big for their boots went all crying to Twitter and complained against me. But the fact of the matter is that is exactly what we are going to do. And why will we stop there? We'll destroy their ports. We'll destroy so many more things if they were to dare to try something like this. So I think the Prime Minister is sending a very, very strong signal.
Right.
He's sending a signal not just to countries like Pakistan, but I think he has sent a very strong signal to the United States of America. There will be no compromise on the trade deal on things that Trump is trying to push us on. 1. Number 2, we are trying to now become independent and self-reliant and self-sufficient in energy supplies. But most importantly, Pranesh, and I think I have to point this out, I don't think there's a single point on which I can disagree with the Prime Minister. I know Abhijit is feeling kind of really, hurt that he's mentioned obesity, and Abhijit and I share that problem. But I think it is extremely important that while he has pressed all the right buttons, I think the trick is going to be in the implementation. We've seen many announcements made even in the past.
That's a fair point. Abhijit, it's just a matter of time before I think, the ecosystem will start making memes on the name itself. Why call it Sudarshan Chakra? Ye to communal naam hai, this, that, the other.
Look, they basically see saffron conspiracy wherever, whatever happens. It's one of those things where तुमको देखना ही है. You want to see a communal hue in everything, therefore it will be. The Congress named our multi-barrel rocket launcher Pinaka. They didn't have an issue with that. All the names of missiles were Agni, Prithvi, things like that. They didn't have an issue with that. But when the BJP does it, it immediately becomes communal. So there's nothing we can do about it. Best thing to do is ignore. These are all facile criticisms because they have nothing better to criticize on. I thought the speech was completely on point, except that one bit that made me feel like a Jew in Germany in 1933. That one sentence about, vilifying the horizontally expansive community of this country. But other than that, it was a fantastic speech. I thought there were very important points made on nuclear power, that by 1947 we are going to be completely, independent through nuclear energy, a tenfold expansion of nuclear energy. The fact that he said, I think it went under the radar, that he has now given the freedom to the armed forces to hit wherever they want, whenever they want in response to terror strikes, which means the entire command chain has been compressed. They will have to keep plans ready and it will get rapid approval from the Prime Minister as and when required.
Right.
So these are all very, very, I think when he was talking about Sudarshan Chakra, he was talking about a very holistic approach to defense now, not a sort of piecemeal, ad hoc, situational response.
Right. General Bakshi, how do you see this, sir? Mission Sudarshan Chakra, PM underlining that the national security doctrine is set to change.
Yeah. We must understand that there has been a revolution in military affairs. And that RMA pertains to two things. One is to air defense and the second is to drones, right? In air defense, the Israelis set the lead with their Iron Dome. It has achieved 97% kill rate against incoming missiles and almost 98 to 99% kill rate against drones, right? So our Akash Tir is an integrated air defense system which is layered. That means we've got long-range missiles like the Triumph Russian S-400, which incidentally is named Sudarshan, right? Sudarshan Chakra. And the next is the Barak 8 MR SAM, medium range SAMs. Then next in range comes the Akash missiles of 30 to 40 kilometers range. And then comes the Spider, and then comes the very short range air defense means of like the Igla, right? So it is a layered air defense and almost nothing can get through. During Op Sindoor, this layered air defense system, sir, stopped 90% of the incoming drones. Pakistan launched some 1,200 drones. And out of them, barely 10% could reach, and they did not mostly hit their targets. They hit mostly the civilian areas, right?
Right.
That is the greatness of the air defense system, which is based upon the Navik constellation of satellites.
Right.
But we must understand another very important military facet. This has started the third nuclear age. Air defense systems have become so effective, so lethal, that they can stop incoming nuclear ballistic missiles, nuclear
a giant leap in that direction. You're right. RSN Singh, your thoughts on Mission Sudarshan Chakra?
No, if you were asking me about the term that has been used or adopted, well, Sudarshan Chakra is part of our Samay Chakra, isn't it? Our own Indian Samay Chakra, Bharatiya Samay Chakra का हिस्सा है सर. हम उस संस्कृति के हिस्से हैं और हर मजहब और धर्म के लोग, people belonging to every faith and every religion, every mazhab are part of the same Samay Chakra. Their forefathers were also part of the same Chakra. Now if we don't take pride in the weapons of our Devi and Devtas, who else will? Pakistan or United States of America? Hey, these fancy names, enough of it, gladiators, hunters and all that. I've seen enough of all this. So we have just reclaimed our past, which is inherent to us and nobody else in the world. And let me remind all Indians in India, all Bharatiyas in India, that they are also part of the same legacy. I don't know who is having a problem with that. If somebody has a problem, well, he can do whatever he likes.
Okay, Sanjay.
But I take pride in this legacy.
What do you know about Mission Sudarshan Chakra that you want to share with our viewers?
Well, first, most importantly, India is not starting from scratch. And that basically means that Prime Minister here has said that this will be ready in 10 years. So as a result, because a lot of work has been done, or some work has been done, it will be easier to produce this. First of all, even 15 years ago, there was a project that was called Project AD. There were people who were working in Karnataka trying to get something done. Then it was called Project Kusha. One knows that the Prithvi was used as an interceptor. So there is at least a beginning there. Besides that, we know what we wanted to do. First of all, the two areas that were going to be safeguarded, one was the NCR region, National Capital Region. The other was this Bombay, Gujarat area, roughly. Now, technology is very different. What was important then, or what could be used then, much more can be done now. Now, if you're going to protect NCR, you will also be protecting perhaps large parts of Haryana. You will also be protecting maybe a little of Punjab. So then if you have a huge refinery, say north of Delhi, that will be helped. Also, in a situation like this, if you have something in, let's say, for the Bombay, Gujarat area, it will benefit the Navy, theoretically.
Right.
Because a ship that is moving
Let's see how the work on this unfolds, because like Sushant Sareen said, the promise has been made. You know, the announcement has been made from Red Fort by the Prime Minister. Let's see how swift is the execution. Therein lies the challenge. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, RSN Singh, Sushant Sareen, General Bakshi, Srinjoy Chaudhary, thank you for joining us, viewers. Wishing you all a happy Independence Day once again. Thanks for watching.